In the past year, a discussion has developed online about the future of single-player games. These days, publishers want a longer-lasting experience that they can easily monetize, and that's not a single-player linear game. Well, now some of the biggest creators of single-player games have opened up about the struggles of developing these titles.
In a feature hosted by Polygon game director and writer Amy Hennig discussed the state of the games industry with fellow developer Sean Vanneman. In the article, they spoke about the challenges of modern game development and the troubles which led to the closure of Visceral Games by EA last year and the reworking of their Star Wars project. For those who might not remember, Hennig and Visceral Games were working on a linear, single-player, story-based game set in the Star Wars universe. The cancellation of that project led to several commentators publishing articles proclaiming the death of single-player games, which Hennig believed was a bit of an overreaction. But she did say that publishers are wary of single-player games now because of the rising cost of development and the limited return on investment that single-player games have. She said large publishers use monetization, loot boxes, and games as a service models as a way to keep up with rising costs of development without compromising that tried and true $60 price tag.
Interestingly, Hennig also said there are fewer linear story-based games now because people aren't necessarily buying them. Quote, "There is also this trend now that as people protest and say, why are you cancelling a linear story-based game? This is the kind of game we want. People aren't necessarily buying them. They're watching somebody else play them online." Hennig's concerns were also echoed by Thomas Puar, head of communications for Quantum Break and Alan Wake developer Remedy Entertainment. Not too long ago, Remedy announced they were moving away from making traditional AAA single-player games because it was getting too expensive. Puar said, quote, "The reality is the traditional AAA single-player experience is just really expensive to make. The expectation level from gamers is really high in terms of how long the game is, what sort of features it has, how good the production values are. All those things are very expensive to do."
According to Puar, the cost of single-player development has increased tenfold, but the audience who buy those types of games has remained the same size. Puar also expressed frustration at the one-and-done nature of single-player gaming and explained how the team spent years making Alan Wake, only for players to finish the game in a matter of hours. This attitude is being reflected in the development of Remedy's new game, codenamed P7, which will be the first Remedy game to incorporate co-op multiplayer elements. Remedy said the inclusion of these multiplayer elements is an effort to try and enhance replayability.
Do you know what I reckon they might be onto something here? It's something that a lot of people take for granted and don't really realise, is that games aren't the same as they were in the PS2 era. The graphics cost more to make, they take longer to make animations, the length of the games now is expected to be a lot longer. I mean, obviously there are some outliers there in the PS2 era that are dead long, but for the most part everyone's expecting loads bigger, but the price point has kind of stayed the same, and of course the now added YouTube Let's Play hype that's happened over the past 10 years now, I suppose. People don't need to play Amnesia: The Dark Descent because they've watched it on YouTube.
I think the consumption of games has completely changed as well because, back in maybe the 90s and maybe the era of the SNES and things like that, the games were maybe a bit shorter, but they were rock hard. They didn't have save systems and whatever, and if you failed too many times, then you were right back to the beginning of the whole game in some cases. But that's obviously not very convenient and very user-friendly and stuff. So as gaming has kind of evolved like that, the experiences have gotten a little bit longer. The save systems are much easier, and you progress over a matter of a weekend. Maybe you can finish a game and you're done. Whereas a couple of decades ago, you'd be sitting there for weeks, maybe months, hammering at one game, especially as a kid where you didn't have enough money to keep buying games all the time. The consumption is totally different now. As soon as I hit the end credits, I'm out of there.
Uninstall.
I'm done. Uninstall immediately. And that's me, that's done. I've completed that game now. It's like cooking a roast dinner or whatever for Christmas and spending hours and hours and hours on it, and it's gone in 5 minutes.
The thing is...
Again! He's done it again!
I agreed, I just didn't have the sort of voice on.
You agreed, you just didn't give a shit.
No, I was trying to think of something we could compare. If a roast dinner was like a single player game, what would you compare? Multiplayer
all
games
you
to
can
cheap
eat,
fast
all
food.
you can eat buffet, innit?
Yeah.
It's just go back and have as much as you want whenever you want. It's constantly being piped into
Totally right then. And it's cheaper quality and there's no real art to it, there's no real passion gone into it, it's just banging out these f***ing fried chicken dishes and shit like that. But people think that that's the raddest thing ever, and where do they want to invite their mates to? The buffet place. Not the dinner party. So there we go. We've made that work. I really love that you said that. So a little bit of redemption on camera as well. Could I tell you again? I agree. Just to let you know that I agree with you
and appreciate it.
Yeah. The value that they've got to decide is that they want to lose a little bit of reputation and make a lot of money through loot boxes because people always buy them, or do they want to be like the true single player game when really you only need one copy and you can just pass it around to your friends and stuff like that. Getting an online game like Destiny where everyone has their own account, is all locked, stops people doing that. So it's a smart business decision, but it's not an arty decision. So the art versus business argument comes into this as well. It's definitely up for debate. There's points on both sides that are super valid, and it's a conversation that I guess everyone will be having in the comments section. Like, we've got thoughts on it, the guys in the other room will definitely have thoughts on it. But do you know what? I can empathise with people trying to make single player, no nonsense games anymore, because especially AAA ones, they cost a fortune.
Alright, so let's take a look at some of your comments.
Alright, so on last week's Sunday roundup, Nilman says, Dark Souls Remastered is what's finally got me interested in the Switch. Now I can be miserable wherever I go, it's great. Dark Souls on the Switch is going to be like the cause of so many broken Joy-Cons, little flimsy little aren't they?
Snapped.
Can you imagine?
Screen.
Yeah, because like the game like that, you got to rely on like pixel perfect dodge rolls, and it's going to be like a little. Oh my! Yeah. Imagine that being your first game as a kid, like Dark Souls.
Get those neon Joy-Con controllers, bright coloured Switch console.
You died.
Dark Souls. And commenting on our "Is it worth owning an Xbox One" video, Moros Nick says, "I can't believe Mike didn't bring up Bloodborne in this video. Disappointed, but I can't go back and re-record and re-upload the video.
It's never too late to change. What's your favourite boss fight from Bloodborne?
Tell you what, it's not my favourite boss fight. It's the amygdala in the Chalice dungeon. Don't know if I mentioned this to you before, Jake.
Yeah.
Saying that because I have mentioned it multiple times to Jake in the past. The amygdala boss in the Chalice dungeons in Bloodborne is absolutely ridiculous. I think it's in the third of one of the layers, and it's really far down in the Chalice dungeons. It's an absolute nightmare. Insta-killed. No matter how.
So in our Fortnite Best of the West video, Zealot Master 1 says, the next Battle Royale mode I would like to see is Care Bears vs Smurfs. Not the stupidest Battle Royale idea I've read this week, actually.
I mean, that probably exists on like some mobile device in some country.
Terminator 2 Battle Royale mode. No, isn't it? Yeah, there's that new Metal Gear Survive. People think that there's going to be a Battle Royale mode for that. And they're saying there's going to be one in Ghost Recon Wildlands. There's loads of games that could do it, and probably better, but people are complaining in the comment section that like they're sick of the genre already. They're saying in a couple of years it'll die out. So that's what games do, isn't it? No shit.
Who's playing Flappy Bird clones these days? No one. And commenting on our Cyberpunk video this week, Dave Dog says, if you think that it will be out this year, you've been punked. Cyberpunked. I'll take my coat and hat and leave now. 120 likes he's got there. So.
Doing quite well for yourself on your like economy.
Classic comment section joke that. Great effort.
Bit of wordplay. Gaz would enjoy that. It's a word, but then it's also a number of words. Mash them together. I don't think it's going to come out this year either. E3, yeah. I don't think he really thinks people do. He's just doing it for the sake of a joke.
For the comedy, for the art, innit?
Yeah. I don't know what it is, you know. It's only when I'm on video.
It's a contempt for me, is what it is. General hatred.
And finally, on our Fortnite Best in the West video once more, Cheesepoo says, 10 cent, more like billion cent, am I right? Up high. Now, this one's only got 2 likes, which is an utterly pathetic turnout from the comment section.
Regular delivery there, like the flipping postman. Here you go. Here's another one from Cheesepoo there. Underrated
little joke there from Cheesepoo. So, highlighting that, capping off Saturday. I'm not in a Sunday video, am I?
I don't know.
I'm ending my week on a high. So there we go then. Are you sad to hear that single player games may be on a decline from the developer's point of view, but you're not really that fussed? Multiplayer forever. Let us know in the comments below. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new around here. We've got some more content on the screen right now if you want to check out some more of our stuff. Hey, there's also a link to our Patreon if you want to support the channel. Until then, we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.